Thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Johnson. We have a breaking development on federal execution scheduled for this week. A federal appeals court has ruled to resume the first federal execution in 17 years, scheduled to happen tomorrow afternoon at the U.S. Penitentiary in Terre Haute. This comes after an Indiana judge granted a temporary stay on the execution of Daniel Lewis Lee. The victim's family requested the delay after raising concerns of having to travel to Indiana for the execution amid the COVID-19 pandemic. In response, the appeals court said they found the claim to be frivolous, adding that the claim lacks any arguable legal basis. The court also argued that the Bureau of Prisons has implemented protocols to keep the family safe. The family of the victim says they will appeal to the Supreme Court. And justice officials say a staff member of the federal prison who was working to prepare for the execution has tested positive for COVID-19. However, in a court filing, the Justice Department said the development would not mean an additional delay since the worker had not been in the execution chamber. They also said the person did not come into contact with anyone on the specialized team sent to handle the execution. Now, in response to the court's decision, a spokesperson for the victim's family says, in part in a statement, that the federal government has put this family in the untenable position of choosing between their right to witness Danny Lee's execution and their own health and safety. It continues to say, my clients hope the Supreme Court and the federal government will respect their right to be present at the execution and delay it until travel is safe enough to make that possible. Now, 81-year-old Erling Peterson is the mother and grandmother of the victims. She and her family have been fighting to keep Lee from being put to death.
They're not doing this for us, because to me it's heartbreaking, it's disgraceful, and I know my daughter would be very, very hurt to do this.
The family spokesperson says Peterson's surviving daughter and granddaughter plan to attend the execution as well. And community leaders are reacting to the ruling. Death Penalty Action and other organizations against the death penalty were remaining hopeful after Friday's ruling of a temporary stay in Lee's execution. However, the co-director of Death Penalty Action says the execution process affects all those involved.
This is a roller coaster, and it's not something new to me, but it is to people that are closer into this issue. So the family of the people of Daniel Lee, who's set to be executed, and also, the victim family.
Bonowitz says they're hopeful that the Supreme Court will reinstate the stay. And this evening, Sisters of Providence hosted a prayer vigil for the men scheduled to be executed. The sisters gathered inside the Church of the Immaculate Conception at St. Mary's of the Woods College while maintaining social distance. The vigil was not open to the public due to visitor restrictions during the coronavirus pandemic. Sister Barbara Batista, justice promoter for Sisters of Providence, says vigils are not only for prayer, but a way to speak out. And those for and against the upcoming executions will have a chance to voice their opinions at the federal prison. Protesters will be screened and transported to the prison from Voorhees Park in Miss Softball America. Death Penalty Action, Sisters of Providence, and other community organizations also plan to host a series of demonstrations in response to the scheduled protests. Protest organizers say they're going to speak out no matter what the court's decision is.
To the very end, my goal is to companion these men who are scheduled to be executed. Companion them by being out on the sidewalk, holding up signs, sending my letters, making phone calls saying, no, don't kill in my name.
City, county, and state law enforcement will be present for demonstrations on prison grounds. And in anticipation of these protests over the executions, prison officials have released guidelines for demonstrators. Now, once again, according to the BOP's website, those for capital punishment should meet at Voorhees Park in Terre Haute. Those against capital punishment should meet at MSA Softball. All demonstrators will be processed starting at noon and ending at 1:30 p.m., and they will then be taken to the prison by a bus and escorted by law enforcement agencies. Cell phones and recording devices are prohibited. And some important information for drivers in our area. Several roads will be closed Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as part of the executions. Those roads are West Lombardi Drive, West Jones Drive, West Spring Hill Drive, and West Johnson Drive. The length of how long they will be closed isn't known at this time. And once again, several law enforcement agencies will be covering these road closures. And here's some background information on each of the inmates set to be executed this week. Daniel Lewis Lee was convicted in the late 90s of killing a family of 3, including an 8-year-old child. Wesley Ira Perky of Kansas is scheduled for execution on July 15th. He was convicted of raping and murdering a 16-year-old girl and killing an 80-year-old woman. Destin Lee Honkin is scheduled to be executed on July 17th for the killing of 5 people in Iowa, including 2 children. The last inmate, Keith Dwayne Nelson, was convicted of kidnapping, raping, and then killing a 10-year-old girl in Kansas. His execution is scheduled for August 28th. And the U.S. Justice Department has said additional executions will be set at a later time. And you can stay up to date on the executions by visiting our website. You can go to mywabashvalley.com and click on the Federal Executions tab. There you will find more stories ranging from community reaction to the prison's guidelines for demonstrators. And there's a look back at the last Terre Haute resident to be executed by the state of Indiana. We'll, of course, keep you posted on the latest developments as we approach the executions. And again, that's all on our website, mywabashvalley.com.